Hey Megan and Blake, I put together some hiking ideas for our trip this summer. First thing to point out, I want to get a shuttle service to cut down on some of the trash miles, and what I found out that it's going to require a four-wheel drive shuttle, and I checked with Sawtooth and Caldwell Transportation, and neither have four-wheel drive, so we still got some things to work out in that regard, as well as the route and the number of days. So speaking of number of days, I've got a 3-day and a 4-day route ideas mapped out here. So you'll see 3 trailheads. The one on the left is Pettit Lake. It's actually Tin Cup trailhead. Oops, stop. And the middle is Yellow Belly, and then off to the right is Hell Roaring. And Yellow Belly can only be accessed with 4-wheel drive, and Hell Roaring, this, you can see the trailhead icon down here. That can be reached via a normal vehicle, but what I'd like to do is to get further up the trail, either to this spot here, because there is a parking area, or even further up where the road ends. Either way, day one we would take Hell Roaring Lake Trail up past the lake, and then head up toward Imogene Lake, and we've got a choice. We can hike up to Imogene and camp there. It's a beautiful lake, just spectacular scenery, so that could be a good option. It might have some folks up there, and if we wanted to get off trail, we could leave and hike up toward this lake. I think it's called Lake 873. It's at the base of Mount Kramer, and if we did hike up here, you guys might want to consider summiting Mount Kramer. I don't know if I would make it up. Maybe I'll give it a shot, who knows. But it looks like a nice place to camp. Some level ground, some nice views for sure. And there's even a pretty waterfall coming down. So for day one, we've got 2 options. Hike up to that lake, maybe do an attempt to summit Mount Kramer, or camp out at Imogene. 2 good options. Day 2 is this blue line. We would hike up past Imogene. We've got a couple of ridges to get over, and there's a lot of switchbacks, so that's going to kind of suck, unfortunately, but it is what it is in this part of the Sawtooth. So up and over, and again, up and over. And one option for a 3-day trip would be to come over here to Vernon Lake, camp out at Vernon Lake, or over here at Edna Lake. I think there's a lot of good options available to us in this area, and I don't know how well traveled it is, but we can check it out. So another option, so for day 3 on a 3-day hike, we would hike out. Day 3 is the red line. I'd like to come down here at least to check out Toxaway Lake. That's supposed to be really pretty on our hike out on day 3. And then on day 3, again, the red line takes us down to Yellow Belly. It's kind of a long hike on day 3, about 10 miles. So if we only do a 3-day trip, we may decide, instead of camping out at Vernon Lake, maybe to find a place down here at Toxaway. So that's an option for a 3-day hike. If we did a 4-day, we definitely spend our second night at Vernon or Edna Lake. Day 3 would be the yellow line. We'd hike over past Toxaway, up over this ridge, and find a place to camp either down at Twin Lakes or down at Alice Lake. Appears to be a really beautiful area, so I'm sure we can find some good options down there. I think it's, pretty popular. It's fairly close to the main road, but nonetheless, I think it's a pretty area. And if we did this as a 4-day trip, this would be Sunday night, so shouldn't be too crowded. Final day, if we did a 4-day, we'd come out on this blue trail from Alice Lake down to Pettit. So those are the options, and we'd like to get you guys' input. I think we got some good things to deal with here, so hopefully we can work this out in the next couple weeks. Look forward to seeing you guys. Think we'll have a great trip this year.